Hello everyone. Today I decided to show you guys how to make my recipe for Guyanese oil roti. So basically what I have here is 4 cups of all-purpose flour in a bowl. I have 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. I have 1 tablespoon of oil, vegetable oil, and about 2 cups of water to mix my dough. So basically in my bowl here what I'm going to do is add in my baking powder. I'm going to add in my oil. And we're just going to mix that through with our hands. Guyanese roti can be eaten with any vegetable or curry dish that we make in Guyana. So after I mix that through, I'm going to add in my water, and I'm going to add in enough to make a soft dough. You want to add in a little at a time so that you don't make too soft of a dough. And you want to make this dough soft enough so that when you put your finger in it, it'll bounce back. What you want to do is keep cleaning the sides of the bowl with your hands to get all of the extra dough off the sides. So as you guys can see right now, the dough is pretty soft, and this is where I want it. So I'm just going to keep kneading it for about 2 more minutes until it comes together and it's smooth. So as you guys can see right here, my dough is nice and soft. This is after I kneaded it for about 2 minutes. So a little word about kneading. What you want to do is knead the roti enough, because if you don't, you will end up with a hard or tough product. You want it to be nice and soft once it's done. So after kneading it for about 2 minutes, what I have here is some extra dry flour and some extra vegetable oil. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide the roti into equal balls. With this amount of dough, you should get about 7 rotis. So for this amount of flour, I got 7 loaves of dough. Basically what a loaf is just 1 ball of dough. That's how we would say it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab one of the balls of dough. I'm going to flatten it out with my hand like this. I'm going to dip it in the dry flour, and then you take your clean rolling pin and you start to roll. So for this part, roti does not have to be round. We're going to put oil on the inside of it, and then we're going to roll it back up. So there's a part 1 and a part 2 to the rolling process here. So I'm just going to finish rolling this one out, and I'm going to show you guys how we oil the inside of it. Also, when you make your dough nice and soft like this, it's so much easier to roll out. If you were to make it hard, you'd be here for a little while trying to just roll one out. So basically what I want to do now is I want to take some oil in my fingers and I want to put it on the inside. So I'm going to spread it all over. Spread it all over the edges. Then what I want to do is I want to get some dry flour and I want to sprinkle it on the inside. Then what I'm going to do, you could take your finger and do this, or you could take a knife. I'd rather do it with my finger. That's how my grandmother taught me how to do it. So what you want to do is you want to take the inside of one edge and you want to put it into the other side. Do the same with the other side. And then the bottom you want to push out too. And you want to press it down just a little bit with your same oily finger. So now what you want to do is start at one end and start rolling. And you want to roll it tightly until you get to the edge. So this is the way that my grandmother taught me how to put oil in the roti. A lot of people do it other ways, but this is just the way that she taught me. So after I roll it up, I want to take that one loose edge and I want to push it on the inside. Then you have one ball of dough with oil on the inside. So I'm going to show you guys how to do one more, and then we're going to get into the cooking process. So remember, flatten with your fingers, dip in the flour, then roll it out. Roti is not a hard thing to make at all. It just comes with a little practice. You'll have perfect rotis every time. So I'm going to take some oil in my hand, put it on the inside, and spread it out all over till the edges. And we're going to run your finger through it. Add some dry flour. So it doesn't matter what order you do it. You could cut it first, then add your flour, or you could add your flour first and then cut it. So I'm going to put one edge to the outside, pull another edge to the outside, pull the bottom to the other edge, press it down a little. Then we're going to start rolling. You want to roll tightly until you get to the other edge. And you want to take your other end, you want to roll it around, and you're going to tuck it in the top. You want to remove all of the seams on the top, just tuck them all in. And you turn it around, press it down a little, and you have one loy of dough done again. So while I have you guys here, I wanted to show you guys a different way to put your oil in your roti. It might be a little easier for some of the beginners out there. So you want to dip it in your flour again. You want to roll it out. And remember, at this stage, it doesn't matter if it's in a perfect circle. So for this one, we're going to put the oil in the middle. We're going to spread it out just like we did the other one. We're going to sprinkle our flour. What you're going to do is you're going to take one edge and just fold it in. And you're going to keep folding it in until you get to the other edge. When you get to there, you want to take one edge and start rolling, tightly rolling, until you get to the middle again. And you want to take the edge and you want to just tuck it in there. So that's another way to do it. It's a little simpler than the other way that I showed you guys. Put my roti on my pan. Let me get started on the other one to show you guys. So remember, you want to flatten it between your fingers. You want to dip it in some dry flour, and then you want to keep flattening it out. I'm going to put it on your board, and you're going to start rolling. This is the part where you want to try to get it as round as possible. So I see mine is bubbling up here on the stove, so I'm going to flip it over. I just want to oil this side of it. Just going to turn up my heat a little bit. You just want to let it cook for like another 30 to 40 seconds. So as you guys can see, I'm using my fingers to turn my roti. You could definitely use a spatula. I prefer not to because I hate having stuff around that I have to keep maneuvering around with the spatula. It's just easier for me to use my fingers. So if you want to use your fingers, what you have to do is take both of your hands, or you could do this with one hand, and it's just a quick flick over. So you want to move it over. If I was doing it with one hand, move it to the side, and then move it over. So I'm just going to let that finish cooking. I'm going to show you guys what we do when it's done cooking. So you guys can see all the brown spots on the outside. Now remember, you don't want to get it too brown or else it's going to dry out and be tough. So I'm going to take it off the stove. I'm going to put it in a bowl lined with paper towels. And before I do that, I'm just going to put my other roti on the stove. It's my last one. So I'm going to move this over here. And this is one roti right off the stove. Now, if you were my grandmother, you take it right off the stove and start doing what I'm about to do. But with me, I took it out and I put it inside this bowl. And what you want to do is you want to keep it in half and you want to clap it in between your fingers. And you want to keep clapping it until it's flaky. Then you want to fold it. And as you can see, all the layers that it shows, that's all the layers that you guys put in when we put the oil inside. Then you want to keep it in a bowl lined with paper towel with the rest of them. And I'm just going to finish cooking this one here. So remember, you want to oil the first side. And you guys are going to see that they're going to bubble up. That's a good thing. It means that they're nice, they're airy, and fluffy on the inside. Flip it over right away. Oil the other side. And when you're cooking your roti, this is the part where you're going to see if you put just the right enough amount of baking powder. If you were to add too much baking powder, basically more than I recommended to add, it would become more like a bread and you'd see it drying out really fast. It wouldn't be soft like this. So, took it off the stove and you want to start clapping it. There's sort of a rhythm to this, but I don't really have that rhythm. So it's nice, it's flaky. I'm going to fold it in a triangle, keep it in my bowl. Here we have it, guys. My oil roti, or clap roti, because we clapped it. If you guys like cooking with me today, please like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below on what you would like me to make next, and please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.